When Saul was king of Israel, they were at war with the Philistines. So the Philistines and Israelites faced each other on opposite hills, with the valley between them. Then Goliath, a Philistine champion from Gath, came out of the Philistine ranks to face the forces of Israel. He was over 9 feet tall. His armor-bearer walked ahead of him carrying a shield. Goliath stood and shouted a taunt across to the Israelites.
Why are you all coming out to fight? I am the Philistine champion, but you are only the servants of Saul. Choose one man to come down here and fight me. If he kills me, then we will be your slaves. But if I kill him, you will be our slaves. I defy the armies of Israel today. Send me a man who will fight me.
When Saul and the Israelites heard this, they were terrified and deeply shaken. For 40 days, every morning and evening, the Philistine champion strutted in front of the Israelite army. Now David was the youngest son of a man named Jesse, from Bethlehem in the land of Judah. David's 3 oldest brothers, Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah, had already joined Saul's army to fight the Philistines. But David went back and forth so he could help his father with the sheep in Bethlehem. One day Jesse said to David,
"Take this basket of roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread, and carry them quickly to your brothers. And give these 10 cuts of cheese to their captain. See how your brothers are getting along, and bring back a report on how they are doing."
So David left the sheep with another shepherd and set out early the next morning with the things, as Jesse had directed him. He arrived at the camp just as the Israelite army was leaving for the battlefield with shouts and battle cries. Soon the Israelite and Philistine forces stood facing each other, army against army. David left his things with the keeper of supplies and hurried out to the ranks to greet his brothers. As he was talking with them, Goliath, the Philistine champion from Gath, came out from the Philistine ranks. Then David heard him shout his usual taunt to the army of Israel.
I am the Philistine champion. Come out and fight me.
As soon as the Israelite army saw him, they began to run away in fright.
Have you seen the giant? He comes out each day to defy Israel. The king has offered a huge reward to anyone who kills him. He will give that man one.
David asked the soldiers nearby.
What will a man get for killing this Philistine and ending his defiance of Israel? Who is this pagan Philistine anyway, that he is allowed to defy the armies of the living God?
And these men gave David the same reply.
That is the reward for the man who kills him.
But when David's oldest brother, Eliab, heard David talking to the men, he was angry.
What are you doing around here anyway? What about those few sheep you're supposed to be taking care of? I know about your pride and deceit. You just want to see the battle.
What have I done? I was only asking a question.
He walked over to some others and asked them the same thing and received the same answer. Then David's question was reported to King Saul, and the king sent for him.
Don't worry about this Philistine. I'll go fight him.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no way you can fight this Philistine and win. You're only a boy, and he's been a man of war since his youth.
I've been taking care of my father's sheep and goats. When a lion or a bear comes to steal a lamb from the flock, I go after it and club it and rescue the lamb from its mouth. If the animal turns on me, I catch it by its beard and club it and kill it. I have done this to both lions and bears, and I'll do it to this pagan Philistine too. For he has defied the armies of the living God. The Lord who rescued me from the claws of the lion and the bear will rescue me from this Philistine.
All right. Go ahead. And may the Lord be with you.
Then Saul gave David his own armor, a bronze helmet and a coat of mail. David put it on, strapped the sword to it, and tried to walk, for he had never worn anything like it before.
I can't walk with these. I'm not used to them.
So David took them off. Then he took his staff, and chose 5 smooth stones from the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag, in a pouch which he had. Then with staff and slingshot in hand, he started across the valley to fight the Philistine. Goliath walked out toward David with his shield-bearer ahead of him, sneering in contempt at this ruddy-faced boy.
Am I a dog, that you come at me with a stick?
And he cursed David by the names of his gods.
Come over here, and I'll give your flesh to the birds and wild animals.
You come to me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of heaven's armies, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Today the Lord will conquer you, and I will kill you and cut off your head. And then I will give the dead bodies of your men to the birds and wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. And everyone assembled here will know that the Lord rescues his people, but not with sword and spear. This is the Lord's battle, and he will give you to us.
As Goliath moved closer to attack, David quickly ran out to meet him. Taking out a stone, he hurled it with his sling, and hit the Philistine in the forehead. The stone sank in, and Goliath stumbled and fell face down on the ground. So David triumphed over the Philistine with only a sling and a stone, for he had no sword. When the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they turned and ran.